Hello, I'm the Greek Geek because I'm 50% Greek and 100% a geek. This one is a fan favorite for one reason and one reason only. So, just from that, you can tell that this movie is quite bizarre. And it actually does have some themes that are relevant today. Let's get into it. Coming to Earth on a fallen meteorite, the microscopic alien life form called Hedorah feeds on Earth's pollution and grows into a gigantic, ever-evolving, poisonous gas and acid-filled monster. Godzilla, who is now Earth's defender, senses the threat and meets the smog monster in a literal battle for Earth's survival. Every single one of these movies is pretty much a battle for Earth's survival. This is nothing new. This is Tuesday in Japan. I liked Dr. Yano, even though he spent most of his time laying down because he got sick and injured. I can respect a guy who gets in the thick of it and tries to find out what is going on. So he dives down and he meets Hedorah face to face, which at that stage is a scary looking tadpole, and gets injured. He gives some good advice and I like his aquarium. The kid character is a little bit annoying, but based on how annoying the previous kid's acting was, it's perfectly passable. And the kid's brother, Dr. Yano's son, is quite annoying and just plain weird as well. Honestly, the female characters take a back seat in this one. They honestly feel like background characters. The brother's girlfriend doesn't really do anything in the movie. The wife, she doesn't really do that much either. So female characters have taken a back seat in this movie. So not really a main character, but this was the first time that Kenpachiro Satsuma wears the smog monster's suit. So he wears Hedorah's suit. And he would go on to wear Gigan's suit in the next movie and the movie after that. And then after Godzilla takes a bit of a break, he returns for Godzilla 1985 and he wears the Godzilla suit. And he takes the role of Godzilla and continues on right up until Godzilla vs. Destroyer. So unlike a lot of previous Godzilla movies, excluding the first one, this one actually has a relevant theme. And it is still relevant today, the dangers of toxic waste and rubbish and what we're doing to our planet. So it was relevant back then, and 50 years later, it is probably even more relevant. And that is a terrifying thought. Yoshimitsu Banno apparently came up with the idea to include this theme in the movie because he really wanted Godzilla movies to be relevant again. And he more or less succeeded in that. But damn, the tone is all over the place in this movie. It gets dark in quite a few scenes. Like, there's legitimately a scene where you think Godzilla's gonna die. He gets beaten up that badly. And then there's other just weird, wacky shit that happens in the movie. I don't know what's going on. Like, the brother has like a hallucination where he sees everyone's head in a nightclub become a fish. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know what that means. That is just, has a weird fish head fetish or something. I told you that guy was weird.
A fish, a fish, a fish, a fishy, ooh.
And there's animations for the story to tell you what's going on, and it seems kind of like commercials, and it's very weird and does not really fit in this movie. They haven't had that in previous Godzilla movies. There's other weird things that happen, like they stage a protest or some kind of party or whatever at the foot of Mount Fuji. Like, all these teenagers and all these other people come and get together, play some music and dance. And then the camera cuts away to this group of people just staring out of the bushes. Who are they? I don't know. Just some people creeping on some other people. And I don't understand that. And Godzilla has like a signature gesture. He like rubs his nose or his chin or something and then claws at the air. It's really weird. Rest in peace, everyone's eyes in this movie. This movie makes a theme of people getting at least one of their eyes fucked up. Dr. Yano character, his eye gets injured. Hedorah's eye gets stabbed with Godzilla's claw. Godzilla's eye gets injured.
Mamma mia!
I'm pretty sure some other characters get their eyes injured. I'm not 100% sure what exactly they were going for with that, so there's a theme of everybody's eyes getting injured. And you really get the sense that this is Godzilla's toughest battle to date. You can see that he's really struggling to take down Hedorah. Like, his blows don't really seem to do anything because Hedorah's body is literally like garbage and sludge, and he stabs into him and it doesn't seem to do much. He does injure his eye. But it can get a bit confusing as to what's happening in the fight because it looks like Hedorah has the upper hand on Godzilla. Like, he literally manages to trap him in a pit and he starts trying to bury him with sludge. And we don't see Godzilla get out of that. And then a couple of scenes later, after with some human characters, we see Hedorah and Godzilla bloody rolling down a hill later on. There's no establishing shot of Godzilla actually escaping from that pit. So the fighting can be a bit confused. And how did Godzilla know that blasting those conduits would actually damage Hedorah? It's not really established how he would know that. Well, I guess Godzilla is quite intelligent, I guess. Hedorah is seemingly beaten and a smaller version flies off, and as I showed in the intro, Godzilla does this. So Godzilla fans are a big fan of this movie just because of that scene, because it is so ludicrous, outlandish, and how the fuck is that even possible? Godzilla's theme music in this movie I am not a huge fan of, and it plays every single time he appears on screen, so it's quite often and gets a bit tiresome. And other sounds that I did like Hedorah's cry. It does sound like very otherworldly and really does suit how Hedorah looks, so that was good. Godzilla's suit looks so much better in this movie. It's a massive improvement over some of the suits we've seen in previous ones. Less cartoonish kind of face, more how Godzilla should look. Hedorah's transforming effects were very good, and his eye beams were cool, I guess. But when Godzilla goes to fly around, he just looks very tiny and awkward. This is one of the few Godzilla movies I would actually recommend from the Showa era. I mean, I could recommend them all. I really recommend that you check them all out. They're good and they're bad. This one is so-so. So much wacky shit happens, it's really worth checking out. And it's definitely a step up from the last two movies, I'll give it that. It has a more relevant tone that's relevant today, as I mentioned before. So I reckon that this one's worth at least an hour and a half of your time. As always, thank you for listening to me ramble on about a Godzilla movie for a few minutes. I do appreciate it. Thank you again, and I'll catch you next time.